What is interesting, there's another piece of news, I guess, a study that you found from Wasabi, who I've never heard of, by the way, um, which is interesting. And the headline, their big headline here is that over half of global organizations are experiencing IT or business delays due to cloud storage fees. And most of these are, ironically enough, due to data lock-in. The fact that so much of this cost is being affiliated, and there's the repatriation or the data egress fees,
Right.
being able to move data or the ability to consume that data can actually make it hard. So costs are rising. And it, again, it shows this other point of this is you have to figure out how to strike this balance. And we've talked a lot about this, like from a FinOps standpoint, right? Is that you need to be focused on looking at your workloads very critically. The answer to every question is not move it to the cloud, but you have to be diligent in looking at your data, looking at your financial models, and understanding how this all plays out. And I think the stakes around this are going to get even higher when we get to AI. So this nothing in this Wasabi report surprised me at all. It was almost slightly discouraging to see how significant the overruns are, how poor the visibility apparently that many enterprises are having. Although FinOps companies are probably loving this report, so I guess that's good for them. But what was your take on it?
Yes, absolutely. It was pretty straightforward as well for me too. That half of storage costs are not associated with capacity, but with egress, with transport, the stuff that we are taking for granted when we just want to copy and paste something. It's so easy to drag that drive over from one place to another, or that table from one place to another, just copy asterisks and not think about what the cost of that is. Yet we have to start thinking about where our data lives as part of this analytics and AI processes, especially with AI, where it's going to be easier for us to have as much data in one place as possible, but perhaps we have to think about whether to actually move that data or not, or whether we might need other strategies to look at multiple data sources at once with our model. Just think about which one makes more sense for your organization, and actually look at the price rather than simply saying, well, this is the easiest thing for me to move over.
So I'm curious. I'm going to do a little segue here. I'm curious. So I because this is not unique to this space. I remember I had the same problem I covered the whole data space for a while, and the data warehousing and data lakes and data lake houses, and all of that. And my fundamental challenge was always that it was the same premise, right? Dump all your data here, just stick it all here, and then we'll figure out what to do with it. And it perpetuates the same issue, right? That if we aren't being diligent with understanding the fundamentals of the problem, understanding our workloads, our workflows, our data flows, all of this, right? Really understanding how the system, how the environment operates, so that we can therefore understand how we're going to execute against that, whether it's data, whether it's cloud, whether it's whatever,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's AI, as we look at these AI flows, that you're going to run into these problems over and over and over again. But so here's my question: as an analyst, as a former IT guy, is this vendors' fault? Is this that vendors go and do all the hype and we sell it as this, hey, this is the answer to all your problems? Is this that there's just a lack of diligence on the IT side? Is it CIOs that they just want the easy answer? Please just solve all my problems for me. I mean, how do we keep getting into the situation over and over again?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lack of hybrid observability capability across the IT department, where it's the blind man and the elephant problem. Everybody grabs a part of the elephant and says, this tail is like a snake, or this leg is like a tree. And that's all they see of the entire picture. And nobody sees the entire picture across the 1,000+ apps and the probably petabyte of data that the enterprise has. Nobody's looking at that from an activity and workload perspective holistically. And so you have a lot of these niche decisions that are made, and then they're scaled up, and then people find out, oh, those weren't good decisions, because nobody's looking at the big picture across the board. And it's frustrating to see, because as you say, Charlie, it's not a new story. This has been an issue for a long time. And going back to IBM's HashiCorp specifically, that's going to be one of the solutions that really helps with that kind of visibility, because it's been lacking.